Okay. So we're talking about trusting yourself. We're talking about trusting yourself. And a lot of times when people start talking about Christianity, I get a little annoyed because there's things you need to know before you know about Christianity. And one of those is you kind of have to understand, like, to believe in yourself. If you're not going to believe in yourself, nothing we pour into you is going to stick. It's all going to pour out because you've got holes in your heart, which is like a jar, right? So now that we've got some of the fundamentals of Christianity, we're going to talk about trust and faith. So I kind of wrote it out more, so it's going to sound like I'm reading it a little bit. I'm sorry if you want me to be more off the cuff, improv-y, let me know. But okay, so now that we're starting to get a grasp on the fundamentals of Christian social martial arts, we can talk about trust. I can't teach you about these inner-hearted treasures only to have you drop them from inexperience. It sounded pretty smart. I'm glad I wrote that. I'd be a bad social martial arts teacher if I let you break down and fall apart every time life gets hard or difficult. I'm going to agree with myself. It's very true. In this mini-sode, like it sounds like soda, I talk about what holds you together, and this is your faith in God, your faith in the relationship between you and God, and finally your trust in yourself. This is a good conceptual bridge for your heart and your personality to sit upon. Okay. You'll find a lot of people who are really broken, don't trust themselves, and they're just trying to survive within that broken universe. Yeah. A lot of our friends will give up the moment life gets a little bit difficult. So they'll fall down into their own pits of despair and try to pretend everything is okay. Or they'll ignore the things that aren't. The things that are bad or problematic in their lives. So yeah. I wanted it to be easy to identify what I mean here. And if anybody's gone to, school at all, or just, you know what I'm talking about, how it's so easy for your friends to get trapped in their own hurts. Okay, so that's the first part. The second part of today's podcast is for those people, the broken, the people reaching up for a hand to be helped up. When your heart cracks and contains no more of your heavenly emotional wealth treasure, you fall into the pits of despair. So how do you get out? Faith in yourself, faith in God, and trusting yourself. Trusting your relationship with God, who's really our king spirit of creation. He's our loving father. He's our super sensei. All right, time for some Christian ninjutsu. Okay. Time for some Christian ninja type skills. To reinforce what I'm talking about, here's some literature on it. Here's some epic poetry. 2 Timothy, chapter 1, verse 7. For the Spirit God gave us does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-control. And in the term, this type of love is the agape love, right? There's 4 loves. Agape love, which is the unconditional positive regard. And self-control, which you could also use the word discipline. So it gives us inner strength, right? It gives us a strength, a power. It gives us eternal positive regard, right, which we're even supposed to have for our enemies, and discipline. So we're kind of seeing like the intersection, one of the intersections of Christianity, like right here, like this is the identification of a Christian. We have these qualities. We chill like the way God chills. And we have a bunch of love in our heart, and the fruits of the spirits are the product of being Christian. They're what you reap. Okay. So we're talking about keeping yourself in check, how to keep yourself together in case despair hits you, right? Or things that lack quality. How to keep yourself in check, hold together. So I really want to keep this sealed into the walls of your heart. The poetic sentiments of God to you. As your Christian social martial artist colleague, I need you not to care about nonsense. That's important. Because if you're not careful, nonsense will take everything. First, it will take your emotional center. It'll grab your happiness and joy and love and peace and everything else you store there. You've all had friends get caught up in lies, gossip, and nonsense. After that, it goes to fear. Then life becomes more unpredictable, and then it moves to chaos. And then you have to find your way back. And how do we find our way back? You don't have to walk all the way back. That's one of the cool things about being Christian. It's not like, oh man, I failed this much, now I have to climb all the way back up. No, you failed this much. You have to reattune to what's being a Christian. You reattune and you'll find yourself right back here. Almost like you're waking up from a dream. Okay? And that doesn't mean I'm giving you permission to do messed up stuff. A lot of people take that leeway, like, oh, I'll be Christian later. Like, that's kind of silly. Okay. Where was I? We're good people. We trust ourselves. We trust God. We have faith in our relationship. That God will help align you towards awesome. It's very true. God aligns you towards awesome. It's hard not to be awesome when you're like really know how to like play chess with Christianity and like have it, you know, on you like a coat of armor, stuff like that. But God will help align you towards awesome, that he'll be responsive to us. A God, a Father, a King. Teachers that don't communicate back with us are not God, but a statue. And our God is not a statue. Our God is living. Okay. So final bit of Christian social martial arts. Your last bit of spiritual ninjutsu. Okay, you're going to screw up. You're going to let yourself down. You're going to let your friends down. You're going to let your loved ones down. You're going to let your parents down. You're going to ruin everything often. All right, ready? Romans 3:23. For all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Now, sin has become this like hammer that we just beat the shit out of each other with. I know I try not to cuss. I use the word shit because my profession in life, I feel, is a shit shoveler. Like, I'm the guy who dives in the manure piles looking for a pony. Okay. So the root for the word sin is stumbled, missed the mark, or failed. So that's what we're talking about. I'm not trying to like beat you up because you've seen people who've been beaten up with Christianity, and that's a no-no. Okay. But what this verse means is, yeah, we already know you've messed up. Oh, sorry, my phone got weird. Okay, we already know you've messed up, but that's all right. Is it recording when it does it? What's not all right is if you give up and give in Like, you can't accept your own broken heart. And sometimes we'll get caught in lessons we need to learn, and sometimes we'll get caught in a broken state. And when you are, make sure that you're not actually in a training period, because if you're really serious about like learning the awesome parts of Christianity, God will look at your future and start prepping you in your past. So like, if you really want to be a legit soccer player, he might end up having you run a lot, and you might hate running, but you really want to be a good soccer player, and that's what he's really planning for. So, like for me, I really wanted to share how to have a lot of wisdom and emotional strengths, and to prep me for that, God threw me in a lot of chaotic, he gave me a lot of chaotic lessons to learn, real life lessons. So it was really hard when I was young, but I learned how to fight off chaos really well. And I learned how to argue really well. So if you're staying broken and this isn't helping, make sure it's not a trial or test, but like a training exercise. And if it's a training exercise, then you need to grab a hold of it with both arms and do your best to like struggle against it. You know, think about if you're gonna be a professional swimmer, he might have thrown like a waterfall at you, and you need to swim your way up the waterfall because he wants you to be in the Olympics. Because when God's done training you, you will be in the categories that is the best the world has ever seen. You won't just be good. He won't let you be good. He won't let you be great. You'll be in the category of like the best the world has ever seen. Other people you can call for help are your neighbors, your friends, but no matter what, don't ever give up. And that's it for this episode. So I hope you guys like it. You can email me at IcePops&Chess@gmail.com if you have any questions or notes or just want to say hi. Yeah, have a good week, guys.